Well, hello everyone. Let's talk. Now, today we are talking about Springvale. Yes, that ruined town in the heart of the capital wasteland. Notably only for the fact that it's right in front of Vault 101 and right to the side of Megaton. Now, that small little hamlet on the shores of the Potomac, the sleepy Springvale, was big enough to warrant having its own elementary school, providing excellent education to its pupils. Its small size and location in the most rural Virginia region made it the perfect spot for said vault. Construction began in 2060s, and local families petitioned Vault Tech Industries for a place in said vault. We know at least one family, the Gomez family, was accepted before the Great War. Destroyed humanity and Springvale with it. For decades, it lay abandoned, remained on the map only because of its proximity to Megaton. In 2241, a survey team led by Ann Palmer from Vault 101 explored it, reporting that it was abandoned, ruined. An apt description of the derelict town. It was repopulated, if one can call it that, in 2277 by a raider warband under the leadership of Bop. After Sheriff Lucas Sims disposed of the raider leader during his failed raid on Megaton, the new leader turned his sights to Vault 101. From their stronghold at Springvale Elementary School, the raiders attempted to tunnel into the underground bunker, only stopped by an infestation of giant ants. After the defeat of the Enclave in the Battle of Project Purity, extremists from the Church of the Children of Adam formed the Holy Light Monastery in one of the ruined buildings, preaching irradiation as the path to religious liberation. Lion's Brotherhood of Steel would be also begun to run regular water caravans through Springvale, bringing a measure of life to the desolate town. Now, taking a look closer at Springvale School, we find that it is a school in the northern part of Springvale in the capital wasteland in 2277. Before the Great War, Springvale Elementary saw to the education of the local children. A family reading night was to be held on November 16th, 2077. The school was overseen by a school board, which was to hold a board meeting on November 21st, 2077. Students and teachers alike were to be due for an early dismissal on November 22, 2077. Now, at some point during or after the Great War, the building took severe structural damage, with the 3 upper floors being completely destroyed, and on the side of the building facing the Potomac being torn open. At an unknown date, a bloodthirsty band of raiders under the leadership of Bop occupied the building, which I had said previously. After they tried to make their attack on Megaton, turned their attention to Vault 101, but sadly were eaten by a bunch of ants. Now, one large cavern, they encountered unexpected resistance, and we don't know how many of these giant ants could be lurking about. Now, there is a bunch of mysteries when it comes to Springvale and Springvale School. Now, when the Vault Dweller first enters Springvale Elementary, they are greeted with a horrible sight. Bodies strewn everywhere, and for some reason a giant cage right in the middle of the lobby. Now, this isn't the only time we see cages. We also, further into the school, we notice another little cage, but this time filled with a bunch of little skeletons. Yes, everyone, this is the awkward stage of child death. Yes. So it would seem that the school has a bit more on the mysterious side. On the outside, it looks just like any other American school, but on the inside, we find more and more questions than answers. Now, given the time period that this is based off on, we still know that the schools of the before times, mainly in the 50s and 60s, and even 70s and 80s, and actually For a while, schools were approved to, well, teach kids a lesson. And by lesson, I mean a nice little smack on the wrist, on the hands, on the head, or on that bum. Yes, sir. If you don't know, schools would often have a board of education, a quite literal board, which they would force students to bend over, grit their teeth, and get ready for a paddling. Gross. Yes, we knew this from back then. The teachers were a lot more, let's say, comfortable with smacking kids around. No. Thanks to this, we can further surmise that with these cells that they had in the school, well, they probably used them from time to time for their more unruly of kids, to show them that no matter what, they were the ones in charge. Luckily, the bomb stopped this mess, finally releasing these poor children from their torment. And now, a home for raiders, we also release them as the lone wanderer from their torment. What were they tormented about? Well, living, of course. Now, this has been Springvale and Springvale Elementary. Thank you, everyone, so much. Bye-bye.